Live from OCC Stadium, welcome to tonight's matchup between the Cortland Crush and the Onondaga Flames. It's the third of 7 meetings between these two division rivals this year. Crush 4-5, Flames 5-6 on the season. The Flames pretty much tied with the Crush in the stands at this point, tied for third. And here is the Cortland lineup to start things off tonight. Leading off is the shortstop Anthony Ciesco. Batting second, the right fielder Dylan Ketch. The center fielder Nelson Laviosa bats third. The first baseman Zach Kelly bats fourth. Batting fifth is Alex Babcock, the third baseman. Alex Flock, the left fielder, bats sixth. The seventh man in the order is the second baseman Tyler McKeon. The catcher Justin Valentino bats eighth. And the designated hitter Jimmy Tatum bats ninth. Starting them up on the bump for the Flames. Just finished his warm-up tosses a second ago. It's Riley Glenn.
Riley Glenn, really excited to see him today. Had a interesting outing last time. Didn't pitch too much, didn't get a decision in that one, but he had a stellar outing this past weekend. And if he can carry over that momentum, as the team is carrying 2 wins in a row, looking for win number 3, I think we should see a great outing from him on the mound.
Well, he gets set to deal to Anthony Ciesco. We're starting a little early tonight because the PA system is actually broken here at OCC Stadium, so no pregame events necessary, as the first pitch to Ciesco is a swing and miss at a high fastball. It's strike one. The count is 0-1, and we're underway at 6:57 Eastern Standard Time. Ciesco, the right-handed batter, facing the right-handed pitcher Glenn. And the 0-1 here is a fastball swung on miss, pretty much the same pitch. According to the home plate umpire, foul tipped into the mid. It's strike 2 regardless. We'll go over the Flames defense momentarily, as Glenn is up 0-2 on the Cortland shortstop right off the bat. Here it is from Glenn, and the breaking ball is foul to the netting just behind home plate. And we'll do it again, still 0-2. Ciesco, a product of South Virginia University. He is majoring in business administration. Graduate of Pascack Hills High School. Played in 40 games this year at South Virginia. Another 0-2. Pitch is low and inside. Looked like a fastball. Count now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ciesco. Good average for him on the year. As we mentioned in the pregame, Crush offense, very good. They score 5 runs per game on average. A little more than that, actually. As the breaking ball is low and away to Ciesco. Ball 2, the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Eric Moon, Brandon Ross with you on the broadcast tonight. We will make the trip, the two of us, to Cortland for tomorrow's game, which is a 6 o'clock start against this same team, the Cortland Crush, as the 2-2 gets up looking on the outside corner. Glenn starts off the game with a strikeout, and that's the first out of the top of the first inning, as we now take a look at the Onondaga Flame defense. In the outfield from left to right, A.J. DiFilippo, Jack Cherno, and Cole Matthews. On the left side of the infield at third base, Casey Kretsch. At shortstop, Mike Ruggiero. And then on the right side, at second base, it's Brian Hart. At first, it's Corbin Paxton. And catching balls and strikes, it is Jake Zurot tonight. As the first one to Dylan Ketch is a fastball in the outside corner for strike 1. The count is 0-1 to begin this at-bat.
Riley Glenn seems to be pounding the zone early. A great approach from him. It worked for him this past weekend, starting to work early today.
He was dominant against the Saltcats on Saturday night, as the fastball finds the outside corner again. And quickly against Ketch, Glenn works the count to 0-2. He has done that to the first 2 batters of this game. Both batters are products of South Virginia University, as Ketch lines one foul to the backstop, to the netting rather. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Ketch hitting .375 on the year. He's played in every game for Cortland. 12 hits and 32 tries at the plate. 3 RBIs. He's coming around to score 8 times as he swings and misses at a fastball up. And that is a strikeout for Glenn once again. Back-to-back strikeouts start off his night on the mound. And now the center fielder Nelson Laviosa steps up to the plate. Laviosa out of Essex Community College. Played in 55 games there this season, nearly 200 at-bats, as the fastball is way high for ball 1. The count is 1-0.
A lot of top-tier junior colleges like Essex Community College, they play 2 seasons, both the fall and spring, because they are aware the goal is to get those guys up to the D1 level, so they need a little bit more exposure.
And a lot of exposure he's getting, especially here in the NYCBL. Good hitter, too, as the 1-0 is chopped foul off the catcher Zurad, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. And Laviosa, like many crush hitters, has had a very good season at the plate, to say the least, to this point. Played in 6 games, batting .357. 10 of 28 at the plate, he's driven in 5, which is second on the team. 1-1. Fastball finds the dirt for ball 2, and the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike to the Cortland center fielder. He's one of 2 players out of Essex Community College on this Crush roster. The other, Julio Criazola, who is not in the starting lineup tonight. 2-1, chopped foul down the third base line, and Bill McConnell brought his silky bits to the ballpark tonight as Brandon Ross puts his head into his hand in disappointment.
I'm going to start a petition to ban that word from this press box, Eric, I swear.
Well, we'll see how many signatures you can get. 2-2 the count to Laviosa. Here it is, and the fastball got him looking on the outside corner. Riley Glenn strikes out the side in the first inning. On to the bottom of the first. It's the Cortland Crush 0 and the Onondaga Flames coming to bat here on Team Line. Welcome back to OCC Stadium. Here is the Onondaga Flames order in the bottom of the first inning with the game scoreless. Leading off is the center fielder Jack Cherno. Batting second, the second baseman is Brian Hart. Colin Matthews for the second night in a row in right field and batting third. Batting fourth in left field tonight is A.J. DiFilippo. Casey Kretsch gets the start at third base. He bats fifth. Batting sixth, Corbin Paxton at first base. Jared Grosguth, the designated hitter, will bat seventh. Batting eighth is Jake Zurot, the catcher. And batting ninth is the shortstop, Mike Ruggiero. And tonight they will face Charlie Hamill on the bump for Cortland. As Cherno gets ready to step in. This will be a battle of the number 20. This time up as Hamill is number 20, wears number 20, just like Jack Cherno. We're ready to play ball once again in this bottom of the first inning. Here's the first one from Hamill to Cherno, and the fastball just misses low for ball one. The count is 1-0. Hamill, a product of Ithaca College. He is a native of Rochester, New York. Set to deal the 1-0 to Cherno. Here it is, and the fastball just misses low again. It's ball two. The count is 2 balls and no strikes. Hamill's ERA a little high, to say the least. But that's only in 6 1/3 innings to this point. As the fastball finds the outside corner. Strike one, the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. And B-Ross, Jack Cherno has been something else to begin his season with the Flames.
Oh my God, only 6 games so far, hitting .458. Also a few extra base hits on top and a few RBIs.
2-1, popped him up, left side to shallow left field. Making the catch is Alex Flock, and that is the first out of the bottom of the first inning. As now we take a look at the Cortland defense in the outfield from left to right. In left, it's Alex Flock. In center, Nelson Laviosa, and in right, Dylan Ketch. On the left side of the infield at third base, it's Alex Babcock. At shortstop, it's Anthony Ciesco. And then on the right side of the infield at second base, Tyler McKeon. At first, it's Zach Kelly. And catching balls and strikes tonight is Justin Valentino. Is the first one to Brian Hart. Is a fastball on the outside corner. It's strike one. The count is 0-1 to the Flames' second baseman tonight for the second night in a row. A lot of twos around for Brian Hart. Except for his number. He wears number 5. As the 0-1 breaking ball stays high, the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Hart on the year. Still trying to find his groove a little bit. He's 7 of 32 at the plate in 10 games. Played in all but one game for the Flames so far this year. The fastball is low. For ball 2, the count is 2 balls and 1 strike.
While his average may not be great, he's got those 9 RBIs, so when he hits, he is producing.
Those 9 RBIs leads the team. As here's the 2-1 from Hamill, and the pitch is low. Dropped by Valentino, but it dropped right in front of him. It's ball 3. The count now 3-1 to Hart. Very good hitters count here. As Hart, the righty, steps in against the righty Hamill. And a 3-1. Fastball is low for ball 4, and Brian Hart is the first base runner of the night for either side on a 1-out walk. Which brings up Colin Matthews, the right fielder. Runner on first, 1 away. Matthews hitting well on the year in 8 games coming into this one. 5 of 16 at the plate. He's scored 5 times. Driven in 4. First one to him, a pitch is low and in for ball 1. The count is 1-0. The walk by Hamill was his 3rd walk of the year. As he throws over to first, not in time to get Brian Hart. Hamill in those 6 1/3 innings has allowed 5 runs, all of them earned. His record is 0-1 as the pitch is in there for a strike. The count evens up at a ball and a strike to the Flames right fielder. 1-1 from Hamill as Hart takes his lead. Matthews chops it foul behind home plate. And the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Matthews. Hamill up to 12 pitches early on in this one.
You know, he still does have that runner over on first, so the double play would be in effect here.
Throw over to first base is not in time to get Hart. Hart not necessarily known for his stolen bases. However, he leads the team in stolen bases, tied with 3 of them. As Matthews swings and misses at a breaking ball in the dirt, he strikes out, and that's the second out here in the bottom of the first inning.
Going back to Brian Hart, he was pegged as the big speedster on this team. He's certainly showing it on the bases when he gets on there, even though a couple of guys have shown more of a willingness to be aggressive.
And now the left fielder, A.J. DiFilippo. Up to the plate, DiFilippo made his debut against the Cortland Crush after arriving from Columbia University in the NCAA tournament, as the throw to first is not in time. That's the 3rd pickoff attempt of Brian Hart in the last 2 at-bats. DiFilippo that night hit a long home run down the right field line. Unfortunately, it was the last run of the night as he grounds one to the left side, snagged at third by Babcock. The throw to first is in time, and that will retire the side. The Flames get 1 base runner, but they strand him at first. And after 1 inning of play, it's the Cortland Crush 0 and the Onondaga Flames 0 here on Team Line. Welcome back to OCC Stadium for the beginning of the second inning of play between the Cortland Crush and the Onondaga Flames. Eric Moon, Brandon Ross with you on tonight's broadcast. 4, 5, 6 in the Cortland order to lead off the top of the second inning. Zach Kelly, the first baseman, to lead things off against Riley Glenn, who struck out the side in his first inning of work in tonight's start. First one to Kelly is a fastball over the plate for strike one. The count is 0-1. First time these two teams met, Zach Kelly hit a home run off of Riley Glenn. Went the other way at Beaudry Park, a much smaller park than here at Onondaga Community College. As the fastball is outside for ball one. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. So far this season, that is the only home run hit by anybody on the Cortland Crush. Glenn deals the 1-1, and the breaking ball is low for ball two. The count 2 balls and 1 strike. And one thing I noticed with Glenn and Groen, that's perhaps giving them an advantage, they work out of the stretch throughout the whole game, whether there's anybody on base or not.
You know, it's just a pitcher's preference, honestly, and some guys prefer to work out of the stretch and they don't like the windup.
2-1, fastball is inside, and the count now 3 balls and 1 strike to Zach Kelly.
Especially with those location guys or guys who generally struggle with location, the windup can sort of have a little bit of a riskier tinge to it. They can get out of whack.
3-1, fastball on the inside corner. It is strike 2, and the count runs full out of 3 balls and 2 strikes. Zach Kelly thought he was on with a leadoff walk, but that was not the case. And now Glenn is ready to deal the payoff pitch to the Cortland first baseman. Here it is, and the fastball is grounded towards the right side. Paxton with a nice snag. The toss to Glenn at the bag is in time for the first out here in the second inning. And getting back to the windup versus the stretch, the first example that comes to mind when it comes to pitching out of the stretch right away as a starter is Steven Strasburg. And he converted to that after his arm injuries.
Well, he had those arm injuries, and you saw early in his career he was still good, but he had some control issues because he had that 100-mile-per-hour fastball he didn't really know how to tame.
First one, Alex Babcock, is a pitch in the dirt for ball one. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Babcock, the third baseman tonight for the Crush. Having a good year at the plate, batting .355. 1-0. Fastball finds the outside corner for strike one. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. Flames have played 2 more games than the Cortland Crush. This is their 12th game of the night. Cortland, their 10th. As here's the 1-1 from Glenn. The breaking ball stays high. It's ball 2. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Cortland has had 1 rainout. The Flames, to this point, knock on wood, have not had a rainout. And it helps when you play on a turf field. As the 2-1 finds the dirt for ball 3. The count 3 balls and 1 strike. Almost did once or twice, not here at OCC, but one game in particular was that Cortland game when there was a downpour during the 5th inning. The first game, rather, between these two teams that took place at Cortland, as the pitch is up and into Babcock for ball 4. And the Crush gets its first base runner of the night, also on a walk.
And you got to love playing at OCC because it's a turf field, so the odds of a rainout are very slim, and you really only don't play unless there's thunder or lightning in the area.
Thunder, lightning in the area, or if it's an absolute downpour for 3 hours, or for probably up until 2 hours before game, from 2 hours before game time as the pitch is in there for a strike to Alex Flock. From 2 hours prior to game time to about, let's say, 10 o'clock at night, you would have to have a torrential downpour to postpone a game here without thunder and lightning, as the throw over to first is not in time to get Babcock.
And you also got to note that the pitcher's mound is actually made of dirt, so that can be the real thing that can get everything out of whack. Sometimes you got to delay the game and put harp out on it.
0-1 from Glenn. Fastball's high. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. The mound, all 3 of the mounds, the game mound and the bullpen mounds, are made of dirt. The rest, all turf. 1-1 here from Glenn is grounded softly towards second. A bouncer for Hardy. Toss it to Ruggiero in time at second. Throw to first in time for the 4-6-3 double play. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no men left on base. We're on to the bottom of the second inning. The game is scoreless between the Crush and the Flames. Back here at OCC Stadium for the bottom of the second inning between the Crush and the Flames. As you see on our scorebook on the bottom left of your screen, the game is scoreless as Charlie Hamill returns to the bump to deal to Casey Kretsch, and the first pitch is well inside, almost hit him on his left side. It's ball one, the count is 1-0. Hamill had a little bit of a rough time finding the zone against the first two batters in the last inning, but he found the zone consistently after that as the fastball is over for a strike. Count evens up at a ball and a strike to Casey Kretsch. One. Fastball stays outside. It's ball two. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Kretsch hasn't had a whole lot of playing time with the Flames so far this year, but he's hit well in his playing time as he fouls one to the backstop. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just 6 at-bats, but he has 3 hits. He's come around to score 3 times, and he's driven in a pair of runs. As the right-hand batter steps in, ready for the 2-2 from Hamill, and he swings and misses that breaking ball in the dirt. The drop third strike means Valentino has to throw down to first. He does in time, and that is the first out here in the bottom of the second inning. That'll go down as a strikeout and a 2-3 putout in your scorebooks if you're scoring at home, though I highly doubt you are. If there's anybody that would be scoring at home, it would be me, as Brandon Ross knows very well. Here's Corbin Paxton at the plate, the first baseman tonight. First one of him is a chopper over the middle, past the pitcher Hamill. A throw from Ciesco is barely in time with Paxton hustling down the line, and that will be the second out in the second inning.
Couple of interesting things with the umpires we had over the past couple of days. Very late to make calls. I remember the home plate umpire last time took about 5 seconds to call a ball or a strike, and then the first base umpire there took a good bit of time there to make the out call.
Usually umpires make that out call pretty quickly, but not as quickly for a call that isn't as close as the breaking ball is on the outside corner of Jared Grosguth. Usually they just put up that outside maybe 3 seconds after the play is made for a play that's pretty obviously an out. As the 0-1 is a breaking ball on the inside corner for strike 2. The count is no balls and 2 strikes. And that's what the field umpire was doing right there. Wasn't as close of a play to him as the rest of us, and just relaxed, he was just relaxing out there, put up the outside a few seconds later. 0-2 finds the dirt, gets away from Valentino, but no harm with nobody on base. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes to Grosguth. Grosguth, 10th game of the year tonight, 5 of 22 at the plate. He has shown some power with this Flames team in his at-bats. as the 1-2 breaking ball is low for ball 2, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Of his 5 hits on the year, pair of doubles and a long home run that was hit against the Saltcats 2 nights ago. Hit to center field just to the left of the center fielder Laviosa as he fouls one to the netting. Count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. A long one, probably 420 feet over that netting in left center field.
You know, there's in left center field, I don't know if you're watching at home, fans, if you see that left center field light post, it was just to the right of that, and it had some height to it as well.
2-2. Breaking ball's in the dirt. Grosguth does not offer at it. And the count runs full out of 3 balls and 2 strikes. Grosguth battling back from a 2-strike count. He's worked the count a little bit from 0-2. And now here comes the payoff from Charlie Hamill. He winds and deals a fastball that is low and inside for ball 4. And the Flames' second base runner of the night comes on a 2-out walk, as now the catcher Jake Zurot comes to the plate. Zurot struggling to out of the gates with Onondaga. He's only played in 4 games since arriving with the team on Friday. 1 of 14 in the batter's box, though he has also reached on a hit batsman. Took one for the team that time, as the first one to Zurot is a pitch low and inside for ball 1. The count is 1-0. He and Trace Peterson, the 2 catchers on this Flames roster. Peterson in the quote-unquote battle for that catcher's position, edging out Zurot at this point, at least statistically, as the runner delayed the steal, but the 1-0 is low. Grosguth stays at first base. But a big advantage for Peterson, as Morgan and I discussed last night, was the fact that Peterson's been with this team the whole season. Given that Canisius went to the NCAA tournament, Zurot's only been here less than a week.
Not to mention, Zurot didn't get a lot of playing time this year, whereas Peterson had plenty of experience.
2-0 swung on miss. That's in the dirt, gets away from Valentino, but not far. Grosguth stays at first once again. 2 balls and 1 strike. So it's really just getting back into that rhythm of playing baseball and playing baseball well. And it takes some time to get used to the level of play here in the NYCBL. Also, as the throw over to first was not in time. Mike Ruggiero, the shortstop, on deck if we get to him this inning. 2 outs, a runner on first base in a scoreless ball game. 2-1 in the dirt to Zurot. And now a very good hitter's count here for him. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. (3-1), runner goes. The pitch is on the inside corner. Throw down to second is well in time to get Grosguth, and that will retire the side. So the Flames end the inning getting a runner caught stealing on the base pass. We're on to the 3rd, and the game is still scoreless between Cortland and Onondaga here on Team Line.
Bring back in the top of inning number 3. Still a 0-0 game here at OCC Stadium between the Flames and the Cortland Crush. Brandon Ross here in the broadcast booth, joined by Eric Moon, as Tyler McKeon comes up to bat for the Crush. Riley Glenn able to get through the first 2 innings, 1, 2, 3. Did allow 1 base runner last inning on the walk. He eventually got caught on the 4-6-3 double play as the first pitch misses high and outside for ball 1, count 1-0.
Glenn had a dominant first inning, striking out the side. Struggled a little bit finding the zone, but got a 4-6-3 double play to get out of the second.
That pitch is driven down the right field line, but well foul towards the trees. And the count's going to be even at 1-1. McKeon, one of the stellar hitters on the Crush so far this season, hitting .357 through his first 9 games.
As a matter of fact, there are 6 players in this Cortland roster.
As the 1-1 pitch finds the corner, and it's going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes.
6 players on the Cortland roster that have played at least 6 games are hitting at least .350.
And the 1-2 is going to be lined foul behind home plate. Count's going to stay at 1-2.
5 of those 6 players in the starting lineup tonight for Cortland. Over half their lineup hitting at least .350.
And also, you can't forget that Zach Kelly, he's only hitting .290, but also one of the big bats and one of the big producers on this Cortland roster.
And a disciplined hitter, too. Leads the team with 10 walks.
McKeon batting well inside in this batter's box, as that pitch is going to hit him. He'll walk over to first. He was basically asking for that one. He was standing on the batter's box inside line, and that one got him on the elbow, and he walks over to first as Justin Valentino comes up to bat.
But that's still a pitch that got away from Riley Glenn. You know, you have to know when the batter is sort of quote unquote crowding the plate, and McKeon was pretty close to home plate in the batter's box that time.
Valentino in his 7th game of the year, hitting .125, as that's going to be rolled over back to Riley Glenn. He'll shoot it over to first for the first out.
And you might have seen on our camera that Glenn took a look at second base, but McKeon was really hustling down the base pass so that he had no play at second to potentially get the lead runner, so he had to get the only play at first.
That brings up Jimmy Tatum with 1 away and a runner in scoring position. McKeon now leading off of second base after he had advanced on the ground out. First pitch is going to catch the outside corner, and the count's going to be no balls and 1 strike. A lot less wind here tonight. It's a lot more stable out there, even though it is a little bit brisk. Last night, if you were paying attention to the broadcast, there was a lot of wind shuffling out there in right center field. The flag was flying all over the place, and everyone had trouble keeping their hats on, but they were able to finish play, and it's a lot calmer here tonight, even though it is a little more chilly, riding in the low 60s.
The rain to begin the game last night, and then the torrential wind at the end of the game last night. Currently 61 is going to get into the upper 50s tonight.
The 0-1 finds the inside corner, and now no balls and 2 strikes on Jimmy Tatum.
Things are really going to heat up this weekend and beyond, though. High of 81 on Saturday, 88 on Sunday, 92 on Monday.
No wonder the bipolar weather here. We are in upstate New York. The payoff, fastball right down the middle. Tatum caught looking, and now 2 away as Anthony Ciesco comes up for his second at-bat.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Jimmy Tatum. Riley Glenn, 3 pitches, see you later.
And Ciesco also struck out looking his first time up to bat. It's now 4 strikeouts on the night for Glenn. Glenn looking back over to second, deals. First pitch is going to miss high. Can't quite tame that fastball, and it's going to be 1-0.
Well, and that last out is big because you have a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Now, with 2 away, you can just focus on the batter at the plate, get the final out of the inning.
Glenn steps off, looks back over to second, but McKeon, nothing doing. Rays are at a disadvantage trying to make pickoff moves at first base, but on second and third, they're on equal, if not better, footing to their lefty counterparts as the 1-0 is going to be driven into shallow right field for a base hit. Coming onto that one is Matthews, and he'll make a throw in to keep McKeon from trying to score. So a 2-out single here for Anthony Ciesco, and Dylan Ketch now with a chance to bat with a runner on third base.
That ball was hit way too hard given the man playing right field for the Flames tonight for that to score the run. Colin Matthews out there, we've seen him gun down a player or two already this year at home plate and at third base. There was no chance Bill McConnell was going to send the runner from third.
Got to remember that game against the Spartans last week. Had a huge gun out at third base all the way from deep right field on the fly nonetheless. As the first pitch is going to be cut on and missed. Looked like he tried to hold up on that one, but his wrist broke and he went through. Counts now 0-1 to Dylan Ketch, who also struck out his first time up. Part of that 1-2-3 inning in the first where every batter fell victim by strikeout. You know what? Line down the left field line. It's going to be a base hit. Outside the driving glove of A.J. DiFilippo, a run scores. The throw into third is going to be not in time. Looked like the throw made it in time, but the tag didn't get down, and so that'll be a one-run double for Dylan Ketch. Now 2 runners in scoring position. The Flames trail 1-0 as Nelson Laviosa comes up to bat.
Well, I think the tag was in time from Casey Kretsch, but the ball popped out of his glove from what it appeared. The ball popped out. The tag was there, but the ball wasn't. And as a result, the Flames aren't out of this inning yet.
Pitching coach Robert Andrews going out to talk to Glenn, make sure he's staying composed.
And it was a great throw from the left fielder, A.J. DiFilippo, right on target. That's another Flames outfielder that has a great arm, plays great defense.
It was a hard liner. Casey Kretsch made a great dive on there, but it just was outside the reach of his outstretched glove. And now Laviosa coming up to bat. Struck out looking his first time around. Glenn now having to deal with 2 runners in scoring position. With the number 3 hitter up to bat, the first pitch is going to be lined right back up the middle. A diving stop at short, but that'll be nothing doing. One other run is going to come around to score, and now first and third, 2-0 crush, still 2 away for the big power hitter, Zach Kelly.
Well, it wasn't hit all that well, but it was hit in the right spot. A good bouncer that was out of the reach of Riley Glenn right up the middle, and it's a great stop at short by Mike Ruggiero because if he doesn't stop that, 2-run score on that play.
And now Zach Kelly up to bat, grounded out to the pitcher his first time up as the first pitch misses for ball 1.
And the Crush has recorded 3 consecutive hits because they're attacking early in the at-bat. The last 3 at-bats, as the throw over to first is not in time, the last 3 at-bats have lasted 2 pitches or less.
Riley Glenn having a tough time getting the ball past the batters lately as a third to first pickoff move here by Riley Glenn, but nothing gets done. So 2 away, Crush out to a 2-0 lead in the top of inning number 3. Dylan Ketch leading off of third base, Laviosa leading off of first, the 1-0. Misses in the dirt. Looked like a 58-foot changeup there, and the count's now 2-0.
And with a dangerous hitter like Kelly, you have to throw strikes here to try and get this guy out. Throw him something that he'll swing and miss at, perhaps, or something he'll roll over to one of his infielders.
The 2-0. That pitch catches the bottom right corner of the plate. Glenn trying to paint the corner, is able to do it there. Counts now 2-1.
And that pitch gives him a little confidence back, too.
Glenn faking a quick pitch, and he throws over to first. But Laviosa able to get back there easy. Alex Babcock waiting on deck should the inning continue after Zach Kelly. Outfield playing relatively deep and spread out behind Riley Glenn. Outfield playing entirely back. The 2-1's going to miss right. Pitch got out of the grasp of Glenn. Probably let go of that one a little too late as it missed outside, and the count's now 3 balls and a strike.
And when you're down in the count, I don't like trying the breaking ball in the dirt, the breaking ball out of the zone, because you're just trying to get back even in the count.
And trying to pound the zone here hasn't worked for Riley Glenn. He's gotten hit hard these last 3 batters. As that pitch is going to miss for ball 4, and now the bases are fully loaded with 2 away for Alex Babcock.
Yeah, I just don't like the pitch selection on those last 2 pitches. When you're down in the count, the hitter has no reason to swing at something in the dirt. When, the hitter's up 2 balls, 1 strike in the at-bat. There's no reason to chase something out of the zone in that scenario. And now Kelly draws the walk as a result.
First pitch to Alex Babcock is going to catch the zone for strike 1. Babcock, the 8th batter of this inning.
And the Flames have to avoid that snowball effect. Can't allow more than 2 runs this inning.
Glenn, the 0-1. That one misses outside. Count's going to be evened up at 1-1.
And that's something the Flames have avoided in their last 2 games, with the exception of that first inning against the Saltcats on Tuesday nights, having given up more than 1 run per inning.
Glenn deals the 1-1. Grounded over to third base, a diving attempt by Kresch, but it'll be rebounded over there by Ruggiero, and it'll get there in time for out number 3. Some great backup defense there from Ruggiero after it got past the diving Kresch, and that'll retire the side. 2 runs, 3 hits, and 3 men left on base at the end of 2.5 innings of play, rather. It's a 2-0 Crush lead here on Team Line. Back in the bottom of the 3rd inning here at OCC Stadium, after an outburst offensively by the Cortland Crush, they now lead 2-0. And now Jake Zarat back up again. He was left hanging at the plate after a 3-2 count when Jarek Groskuth got caught stealing second base. And the first pitch of this fresh at bat for Zarat is going to catch the inside corner for strike 1. Hamill out for his 3rd inning of work as the 0-1 catches the outside corner, and the count's no balls and 2 strikes. Hamill so far, no runs on no hits, a couple walks, but able to get out of every inning so far, as that pitch is going to be an inside-out swing down the first baseline. Going to hit the netting above the Crush dugout. Count's going to stay at 0-2. Hamill from an open windup deals the 0-2. Breaking ball just misses. Valentino really wanted that call behind the plate, but instead it's going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And it's a good take by Zura, because that pitch is close, but just missing it, that is a disciplined take for ball 1.
And especially when you're down 2 runs this early in the game, you got to get back, not swing at any bad pitches. And that pitch is going to be driven into right field, but right to the waiting Dylan Ketch. And that'll be 1 away here in the bottom of inning number 3.
And that's just the game of the baseball. Sometimes you hit the ball hard, and you hit it right at somebody, it's just a routine out. Sometimes you don't hit the ball well, it's an RBI single. Right there, Zurot hits it well, but he hits it right at Dylan Ketch, and it's the first out.
And that'll bring up Mike Ruggiero for his first at-bat of the night. Certainly making an impression on the staff. This is the first time he started back-to-back games this season. Hamel deals the first pitch. Breaking ball misses just high. And the count's going to be 1-0.
Third start of the year for him.
The 1-0. Grounded back past the pitcher, and it's going to be a base hit. First hit of the game for the Onondaga Flames. They finally have a runner on the bases that they can work with, and they have 2 outs to work with here as there's only 1 away and the top of the order coming up.
We knew he was at 100% when he got the nod last night at shortstop. He was even the leadoff hitter batted second in the order against the Oleana Oilers, batting ninth tonight. But, he's a good hitter at the plate. Starting to get used to NYCBO play. He's starting to rack up the hits now.
He was having a hamstring problem, his dad was telling us the other day. Finally back healthy, and he fakes a steal as that one's going to be chopped foul. Went in front of the plate and went off of Cherno in the batter's box. So now an 0-1 count here to Jack Cherno. As Ruggiero, middle infielder, definitely aggressive on the bases. Ruggiero taking about an average lead off of first base. Hamel deals, and the 0-1 misses outside, and the count's evened up at a ball and a strike. Jack Cherno last time out flew out to left field. And now with a chance to bat here with a runner on base. The 1-1 is going to get away from Valentino behind the plate, and Cherno's going to advance to second. So now a runner in scoring position with 1 away for Jack Cherno.
Well, there's nothing Valentino could do on that one because as you saw on our camera, that bounced off him and way high up in the air to the left side, got away from him just because of a bad bounce at home plate. It went a little higher than he expected. I think it caught his mask a little bit. Easy second base for Ruggiero, but because it went to the left side and not to the right, Ruggiero can't take third base.
Might have caught a piece of the plate there, and also that's a big thing you got to do as a catcher. You have to not only block it, you have to smother it. Get on top of it, because if it bounces off you and goes back, there's no telling what could happen if there are runners on base.
And don't forget about some of the weird bounces here on a turf field.
Hamel deals the 1-1. That pitch catches the outside corner. The umpire not shy about counting the left side of the plate tonight, and the count's going to be 1-2. So correction, there's a 2-2 count. Looks like the scorekeeper on the scoreboard tonight forgot to take note of the wild pitch. The 2-2 misses inside. Valentino able to smother that one. Certainly not trying to get Ruggiero over to third there. And now the count's loaded at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And if you're Cherno here, your job, simply put, has to be at least get Ruggiero to third base. So you have your first run on the board 90 feet away from home plate.
With a full count, here the payoff. It's going to be lined down the left field line, but well foul over towards the Onondaga Flames bullpen, and the count's going to stay at 3-2. Infield playing mostly back here. Shortstop playing aggressively, defending second base, the 3-2. It's going to be grounded foul behind home plate over in the direction of the Crush dugout, and the count's going to stay 3-2. A quality at bat here so far from Jack Cherno.
High quality at bat for him. He's doing exactly what you want any Flames hitter to do in any at bat. Work the count and then keep working the count and fouling off pitches when you get to 3-2. Just keep battling up there.
Hamel looking back. Decides on a pickoff move over there at second base, but doesn't make a throw. Ruggiero able to detect the incoming throw, gets back there with ease. It seemed to be a theme so far for the Onondaga Flames. If you can get the starter out early, it's usually led to success so far for this team. Ruggiero still unfazed by the pickoff attempt, taking a big lead off second, the 3-2. Grounded over towards first base. Kelly will take it to the bag himself, and now 2 away, but Ruggiero advances over to third.
And Cherno got the job done that time. You know, it's a slow roller down the first base line, but he hit it to the right spot of the field. He got Ruggiero to third base, and to add to it, it's a very high quality at bat. Worked the count full, fouled off a few pitches even after he worked the full count, and now here's Brian Hart with a chance to drive in a run.
Brian Hart to bat last time up walked. Hill looks over to third, and the first pitch is going to be lined back up the middle for a base hit. That'll bring the first run of the game home for the Flames, and it's now a 2-1 ball game on the single by Brian Hart.
It's a good piece of hitting from Hart. He gets a breaky ball over the plate. Well, Hamill's breaking ball got a little too much at the plate that time, and Hart hit it to the right spot. It was off the end of his bat, but it was hit hard enough where it got through the infield between the pitcher Hamill and the shortstop Ciesco into center field for the hit.
Brian Hart's batting average of .219 doesn't jump off the page, but his 10th RBI on that single gives him the team lead with 10. Certainly a clutch hitter when he does make contact, as the pickoff attempt is no good over at first. So now Colin Matthews up to bat, struck out his first time up, and the first pitch is going to catch the strike zone, and the count's going to be 0-1. Hart with a big lead off of first base. The pitch is going to miss inside and low. Counts evened up at a ball and a strike. This inning seeming like it might be getting to Hamill a little bit there on the mound. Taking some more time between pitches to compose himself as another pickoff attempt over at first base. And Hart able to get back there easy, even though that was a little bit of a closer play over at first.
Well, it was a little closer because Kelly was trying to tag him on the back leg, going where the throw from Hamill went.
The 1-1 misses way outside. Hamill let go of that fastball a little late. Valentino had to reach quite a ways to keep that from going to the backstop, and the count's going to be 2-1. Big power bat A.J. DiFilippo waiting on deck should the inning continue, as another pickoff attempt over at first is no good. Hart, as has been mentioned many times this season, pegged as a speedster coming in. And he goes on the pitch, and that'll be a ball. So no throw, and Hart advances to second, so now they have a runner in scoring position with 2 away. And the count's now going to be 3 balls and a strike.
4th stolen base on the year. He got a pretty good jump, so I'm not sure if Justin Valentino was going to get him anyway. But he dropped the pitch, so there was no play to be made.
The 3-1, caught on and missed. Looks like he may have gotten a piece of that one and fouled it back into the catcher's mitts, but regardless, either way, the count's now 2-2. It's actually now a full count here on A.J. DiFilippo, and, it's Colin Matthews, and a pickoff attempt over at second is no good.
It's a good thing he threw it so off target because the second baseman, McKeon, wasn't quite at the bag, so I think Hamill saw that and decided just to bounce it to his second baseman.
The payoff, that one misses outside for ball 4. So now runners on first and second here on the Flames with 2 away, and that brings up A.J. DiFilippo. DiFilippo grounded out to third his last time up as Valentino, the rest of the infield, and the pitching coach coming out to meet with him on the mound.
Nobody warming up in the Crush bullpen, so this is just a routine meeting between the Crush pitching coach, the pitcher, the catcher, and the infield.
When you had a rough inning like this, your composure can get a little bit off base, and so maybe just to calm him down, assure him that the team's there for him, they're here to back him up, and that should anything happen, it'll all be okay.
With these last 2 hitters, he's lost a bit of his confidence. He gave up a hit in to the second batter. He faced Mike Ruggiero to begin the inning. Retired Zurot before him and Cherno after him. But now the single to Hart and the walk to Matthews.
And now with DiFilippo at the plate, the lefty facing the righty Hamill. With 2 runners on and 2 away, down 1 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The first pitch is a changeup. It's going to catch the strike zone. A slow one there, and A.J. DiFilippo watches that one sail by for strike 1. Timeout called at home plate. It looks like it's actually going to be called a balk. A crucial mistake there on the mound by Hamill, as the balk now advances the runners to 2nd and 3rd, so a single could give the Flames the lead.
Well, this is very different from the balk we saw from Kyle Warner last night. I think Hamill just ever so slightly flinched on the mound.
And the 0-1's going to miss well inside. DiFilippo doesn't move, but still inside regardless, and the count's going to be 1-1.
If I had a guess, I didn't see it, but his left leg, sort of twitched a little bit. It started to move and then stopped, and that resulted in the balk being called.
It also could be a consequence of his pitching stance, as he does have a very wide stance when operating on the mound. The 1-1 pitch is going to plunk DiFilippo right in the back. Did not look intentional, looked like a curveball that got away from him. And now that'll bring up Casey Crutch with the bases loaded and 2 men out.
That was absolutely a breaking ball that got away from Hamill. Released it a little too late, and DiFilippo, who his stance is pretty close to the plate, so that was easily going to hit his back, and now the Flames have the bases loaded with a chance to at least tie the game here in the 3rd inning.
Crutch a strikeout victim in his first at-bat, back in the 2nd inning. So now it's Brian Hart on 3rd base, Colin Matthews on 2nd, and A.J. DiFilippo on 1st with 2 away. Flames trailing 2-1 in the bottom of inning number 3. Hamill deals the first pitch. Cut on and miss. Crutch can't get a piece of that one. He's behind the count 0-1.
Well, that was Crutch trying to hit a grand slam on the first pitch, but it was a great breaking ball from Hamill that dipped below the zone.
Hamill now operating from the stretch with the bases loaded. The 0-1. Check swing held off. As now the count's even at 1 ball and a strike.
And that pitch was number 60 on the night for Hamill. Through 3 innings, he's averaging 20 per inning.
Flames certainly hoping to get some more runs out of this inning. A big kryptonite so far this season for the Flames is leaving too many runners on base, as the 1-1's going to be fouled down the right field line over towards the trees over the Crush bullpen. And now the count's going to be a ball and 2 strikes. Hamill now with 2 strikes here on Crutch with the bases loaded behind him. The payoff. Caught on and missed on a breaking ball, nowhere close. And since the bases are loaded, Valentino just steps on the plate for out number 3. Crutch leaves the bases loaded in his at-bat. So 1 run, 2 hits, 3 men left on base at the end of 3 innings of play. The Flames trail the Crush 2-1 here at OCC Stadium. Back in the top of inning number 4 here at OCC Stadium, Flames trailing 2-1 after putting up a run in the bottom half of the last inning, but leaving the bases loaded. And now Alex Flock coming up for his second at-bat of the night. And the first pitch is going to be a fastball missing outside. He'll be ahead in the count 1-0. Last time up, Flock had a runner on first, but grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. The 1-0 catches the outside corner, another fastball, and it counts even up at a ball and a strike.
And that was a huge double play to get out of that second inning without giving up a run for Riley Glenn. Struggled a little bit, had given up a walk, then he got out of the inning.
The 1-1 from Glenn is a breaking ball, catches the zone. Now it'll be a ball and 2 strikes here on Alex Flock. It's been a consistent theme over the past couple of games for these Flames pitchers. They'll hit a little bump in the road, catch some adversity, but the team will be behind them, and they'll get their act together on the mound. That's going to be lined out into center field. Easy catch for Cherno out there, and it's going to be 1 away.
Meanwhile, in the Cortland bullpen, Daniel Favicchio is warming up down the first base line.
And now that'll bring up Tyler McKeon. Came around to score his last time he got up to bat. He got on base originally after getting hit by a pitch. And like last time, crowding the plate here as that pitch is going to catch the outside corner for strike 1.
And I like the stance. I like it when hitters crowd the plate because it forces the pitcher to hit the zone more so than against any other batter.
The 0-1, be another pitch right down the middle. Now behind the count 0-2.
And as we've seen to this point, it also allows a hitter to take one for the team without being called out for it by the home plate umpire. It's a big advantage for hitters if they choose to do it.
The payoff is going to be a called strike 3. McKeon watches that one sail by as they're now 2 away for Justin Valentino.
Well, in that time it wasn't that big of an advantage because Riley Glenn just pounded the zone. 3 pitches, see you later.
5th strikeout of the night for Riley Glenn as Justin Valentino comes up for the second time. That pitch missing high and outside, count going to be 1-0. Last time out, Valentino grounded right back out to Riley Glenn. And that was before his team went off for a big 2-run third inning. The 1-0 is going to be lined right back up the middle. It's going to land in front of Cherno for a base hit. Still some hustle from Valentino. He'll round first but stay there. A 2-out base runner here for the Cortland Crush. And now Jimmy Tatum with his second at-bat of the night, struck out looking his first time up. Valentino with a sizable lead over at first base. Paxton's guarding him closely as the first pitch is going to be a strike. Going to be 0-1 here early to Jimmy Tatum.
And he went down on 3 pitches his first time up.
Though we're first not in time.
Went down the same way Tyler McKeon did just 2 batters ago.
Glenn, as always, working from the stretch, the 0-1. It's going to be chopped behind home plate foul. And now he's behind the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Valentino again with a big lead off of first base. 2 away, 2 strikes, 2-1 crush here in the top of the 4th inning. Another pickoff attempt over at first, and Paxton's going to have to leap to keep that one from getting away. Thankfully, he keeps it in front of him. So Valentino doesn't advance to second on a wild throw. Still 2 strikes, still 2 outs, still 2-1 crush. As now Riley Glenn gets ready and deals the 0-2. That one misses just outside. Zarat framing looked like he wanted that one. Instead, it's going to be a ball and 2 strikes.
I think it caught the play, but it was a little up to Tatum, just ever so slightly.
Valentino takes 2 steps off and gets a pickoff attempt as a result. Glenn really playing him close over there at first base. That was the 3rd pickoff attempt of this at bat. The 1-2. That one misses well high, probably about chin level with Jimmy Tatum, and the count's going to even up at 2-2. Glenn with the payoff. That one catches the outside corner, and Jimmy Tatum goes down looking for the second time tonight. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left on base at the end of 3.5 innings of play. The Crush still lead the Flames 2-1 here at OCC Stadium. Bottom of the 4th inning here at OCC Stadium. Still trailing 2-1 are the Onondaga Flames, and they'll get the 6, 7, 8 hitters up to start this inning. And Corbin Paxton coming up after grounding out to short his first time up. Paxton, the lefty, facing the righty Hamill. The first pitch, fastball misses way outside. Count's going to be a ball and no strikes.
And Daniel Favicchio continues to warm up in the Crush bullpen.
Hamill working for his open stance windup, the 1-0. That one catches the inside corner, and the count's going to get evened up at a ball and a strike. Paxton's had his offensive struggles so far, but the 2 times he's gotten a hit, they've been big, bringing in runs, as that one's going to be rolled over to shortstop. Ciesco fires over to first in time for out number 1.
With Paxton hustling down the line, I wasn't quite sure right off the bat that Ciesco was going to get him on in time because he did a little pump fake at shortstop with the throw.
But he fielded it very cleanly, got the throw off, and in time. And with 1 away, that brings up Jared Grosguth. First time up, he drew a walk, ended up getting caught stealing shortly after. The first pitch, it's going to be a fastball right in the heart of the zone, and the count's going to be 0-1. The 0-1. It's going to be a breaking ball that just misses. A little outside and probably a bit low as well. The count's going to be even at 1-1. Flames still trying to get the run back to tie up this ball game and then eventually take the lead as the 1-1 pitch is going to catch the zone. A breaking ball sharply cuts in there, and the count's going to be 1-2. The payoff from Hamill. Breaking ball in the dirt. Count's going to be evened up at 2-2. So far, we've seen Grosguth in a variety of roles in the field. Haven't seen much of him as DH, mostly playing the field. He'll occupy a middle infield position, usually second, or he'll be playing third base. The 2-2, called strike 3. Grosguth watches the fastball sail right by him, and now it'll be 2 away here for Jake Surratt.
And because Grosguth is a big power threat in the line, Mike Cordero just trying to find a spot for him in the order. Originally at third base, then A.J. DiFilippo came in and started playing third base. Now with Mike Ruggiero back in the lineup, Hart shifts to second, and Grosguth has been the DH the last 2 nights.
And Jake Surratt comes up and takes the first pitch for a ball, count 1-0. With Grosguth's strikeout, Hamill now has 4 on the night. The 1-0. That one misses just inside. Hamill now behind the count on the mound, 2-0. First we've seen in a while from Jake Surratt, who's been fighting for the catcher's position, as we mentioned with Trace Peterson. As that pitch is going to be rolled over to short, Siesko will fire on to first, a high throw, but corralled over there by Zach Kelly for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no runs left on base at the end of 4 innings of play. The Crush lead the Flames 2-1 here on Team Line.
Back here at OCC Stadium for the 5th inning of play between the Cortland Crush and the Onondaga Flames. Eric Moon, Brandon Ross with you this evening as the Flames trail the Crush 2-1 here in the top of the 5th inning. Leading off for the Crush, it's the top of the order. Anthony Siesko to begin things at the plate for Cortland. He's 1 for 2 tonight with a single and a run scored in the 3rd inning. Still facing Riley Glenn as the first pitch is hit in the air towards right center field. Matthews and Cherno on it. Cherno will call him off and make the catch. And a quick first out here in the top of the 5th inning. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard in the NYCBL tonight. There was a game at 11 a.m. this morning between the Rome Generals and the Sherrill Silversmiths in the East Division. The two teams in the East that the Flames have yet to play. And Rome, in a surprise, absolutely demolished the Silversmiths by the score of 11-1 in Sherrill. As the first one to Dylan catches up and away for ball 1. Count is 1-0. 4 games in total in action today. We mentioned the one final. There's this one between Cortland and Onondaga, and 2 more that started at the 5 o'clock hour. As the 1-0 to catch finds the zone to even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. In the bottom of the 8th inning in Liverpool, the Syracuse Saltcats and the Syracuse Spartans are tied at 3 at Blinkfield. 1-1 to catch, fastballs high for ball 2. The count is 2 balls and a 1 strike to the Cortland right fielder.
That surprised me a little bit. The color commentator, I ran into him while I was on my jog today, Jordan Capozzi. He seemed pretty confident of the Spartans' chances tonight, but clearly it's a close one.
Spartans playing good baseball as of late, 6-5, second place in the Eastern Division. as the fastball finds the dirt for ball 3 in the count, now 3-1 to catch. And then in the top of the 8th inning, all the way in Olean, after the Oilers lost their 5th game in a row last night to these Flames, they did not look very composed. They lost the game 5-2. They're leading the Rochester Richmond 6-2 in the top of the 8th inning in a home contest. 3-1 from Glenn. Fastball is outside for ball 4, and Dylan Ketch reaches on a 1-out walk. But Olean, of course, is a team that you cannot count out in that Western Division because they're still 5-6 on the year because they started out the season winning 5 of their first 6 games. Nelson Laviosa, the center fielder, steps in. 1 for 2 tonight as Glenn throws over to first, not in time. And now taking a look at the standings, we're going to look at the Eastern Division first. The Rome Generals, with their win today against the Sherrill Silversmiths, have now tied the Onondaga Flames for 3rd in the Eastern Division momentarily. As the pitch finds the dirt for ball 1 to Laviosa. Count is 1 ball and no strikes. Silversmiths only lead the Spartans by half a game now. Sherrill is 6-4 on the year. Spartans, as we mentioned, 6-5. Generals and the Flames are 5-6. And they're also tied with the Cortland Crush, who've only played 9 games to this point coming to this one. Throw over to first, not in time to get Catch. So that's a 3-way tie for 3rd place in the East. And then the Syracuse Saltcats at 3-7 are in last place. 3 games back of the Silversmiths. Now that throw over to first is not in time. Looks like a lefty warming up in the Flames bullpen. Looks like Jeff DiStefano. Glenn gets ready to deal the 1-0. The breaking ball is chopped towards short. Good hop for Ruggiero. Tossed to second in time. Throw to first from Hart is also in time. A 6-4-3 double play gets the Flames out of the inning. Still 2-1 Crush, though, as we are halfway home from OCC Stadium. Set to begin the bottom of the 5th inning here from OCC Stadium. Mike Ruggiero to lead things off for Onondaga. 9-1-2 in the Flame order. Both teams have scored their runs in the 3rd inning of this contest. Flames trail the Crush 2-1 as Charlie Hamill returns to the mound to start this 5th inning. First one to Ruggiero is a pitch that's low for ball 1. The count 1-0. Only 1 at bat so far tonight for Ruggiero. 1 for 1, a single, and he has scored the only run in the game for Onondaga. 1-0 from Hamill out of the windup is fouled away to the right side. Count evens up at a ball and a strike to Ruggiero. So you had a look at the Eastern Division standings. Now, just looking at the West briefly, it's the competition a little more top to bottom there, as Ruggiero lines one into right field for a base hit. He's 2 for 2 on the night, but the throw to first is not in time. Hit it so hard that the play was possible at first base. Ruggiero, though, with good hustle down the line, legs out what is an outfield single.
You know, you can't fault Ketch for trying to make the play there where he thought it was available, but, you know, Ruggiero able to leg it out and get there in time.
it was pretty close at first base. Ruggiero, because he was hustling down the line, he was able to get the base hit out of it instead of a 9-3 putout. Back to the top of the order. Cherno squares up the bunt, pulls it back. The pitch is high and gets past the catcher Valentino. Ruggiero's on to second. He takes a turn around second base, but he holds up. Now runner in scoring position with nobody out on the wild pitch.
You know, I have a feeling that it was never Cherno's intent there to bunt, because sometimes the coaches actually train you. You square up to bunt, and then you actually pull it back so far that you mess up the catcher's ability to follow the ball and make the proper catch. And that one's sailing right past him to the backstop.
Ticked off the glove of Valentino on the way. As the 1-0 is lined into right field, that's a base hit for Cherno. Rounding third and heading home is Ruggiero. Catch with the throw to the plate, and a short. Ruggiero scores, and the game is tied at 2. Another RBI for Jack Cherno. That's his 5th of the season. And the Flames and the Crush are tied at 2. Still nobody out in the inning as Brian Hart steps up to the plate with nobody out. And a runner on first base. Same situation that Cherno. When Cherno stepped up to the plate, Hart pops up the bunt, but it drops foul down the right field line. At strike one, the count is 0-1. So in that NYCBL Western Division, there's one team that's really dominated the NYCBL to begin with, and that's the Wellsville Nitros. A quarter of the way through the season, they are 8-2, and 2 games ahead of the Genesee Rapids. If you recall last week, the Flames, when they went to Genesee, the Rapids were 0-3 on the year. Now they've won 6 of 7. They're second place in the division at 6-4 as the throw over to first is not in time. After that, the Rochester Ridgemen, 2.5 games back of Wellsville. They are 5-4 on the season. Of course, the Flames here at OCC beat them 13-2. First one to Hart. Rather, the 0-1 is in the dirt. Count evens up at a ball and a strike after on Hamill's 80th pitch of the night. And then in a tie for 4th in the West, the Niagara Power and the Olean Oilers, both 5-6 on the year. 2 of 4 teams in the NYCBL, a 12-team league that are 5-6 on the season. 1-1. Pitch is low, perhaps outside as well. It's ball 2, the count 2 balls and 1 strike. And then, surprisingly, in last place in the Western Division, the defending champions of the NYCBL, the Hornell Dodgers, at 3-6. Next Wednesday, the Flames will be heading to Hornell. As the throw over to first is not in time, that'll be the only meeting between the Flames and the Dodgers on the year. Each team plays 6 games against the opposite division, 1 against each team. 2-1 to Hart. Pitches inside, and the count is now 3 balls and a 1 strike to him. The Flames have played 4 of those 6 required games against the Western Division. So far, they are 2-2, and they will wrap up the Western Division schedule next week. As Hart on the hit and run chops one towards short. Good hop for Ciesco. The long throw to first is barely in time for the out. Cherno on to second. There's 1 away in the inning. So now the batter is the right fielder, Colin Matthews, with a chance to give the Flames the lead with a runner in scoring position and 1 away.
And we know how fast Cherno is. I would watch for him being aggressive here, especially with the infield playing in.
First one of Matthews is chopped down the third base line and just foul, despite being snagged by Babcock at the hot corner. 0-1 the count to Matthews to begin the at-bat.
I would say out of Coach Cordera's strategy, I was half expecting a bunt there, especially with Cherno on second and the third baseman Babcock playing pretty close in.
And with 1 away already in the inning, you would expect Matthews to try and bunt for a hit and not a bunt for a bunt as a sacrifice. 0-1 from Hamill. Breaking ball finds the dirt. Valentino keeps it in front of him. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. So upcoming for the Flames in the schedule, they will play Cortland again tomorrow night, but at Beaudry Park. It'll be a 6 o'clock start. Off day on Saturday, back home as the home team against the Syracuse Saltcats, and then a couple quick road games. Cheryl Silversmiths for the first time this year. On Tuesday night, it's the Hornell Dodgers, and then Wednesday, the Flames host the Wellsville Nitros. 1-1 pitch on the lower third of the zone. It's strike two. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. So after June 20th, next Wednesday, the Flames will play only teams in the Eastern Division, with the exception of the Capital City Reds, on Tuesday, July 10th, the day after the All-Star game. 1-2. In the dirt, bounces away for Valentino. Heading to third base is Cherno, and he's in, standing up on the wild pitch. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes, with the go-ahead run 90 feet away from scoring.
And you were mentioning with the Eastern Division opponents, there are 2 we still haven't seen yet, and we're going to be seeing plenty of the second half of the season in both the Rome Generals and the Cheryl Silversmiths.
As we mentioned, June 18th, this coming Monday, the first meeting between the Flames and the Silversmiths in Cheryl. As the 2-2 to Matthews, it's a breaking ball in the dirt. Ball 3, the count runs full out of 3-2. Crush infield is in with 1 away in the inning, just trying to keep the runner Cherno at third base, keep him from scoring. Matthews, meanwhile, at the plate, trying to drive him in at least with a productive out. Here's the payoff from Hamill. Swing a ground ball right back to the mound. Hamill looks off Cherno at third base, tosses to Kelly at first. And the Flames aren't able to drive in a run this time. There are now 2 outs in the inning, with Cherno still at third base.
You know, Matthews able to make contact there, but just not in the right place. If he had just hit that about 45 degrees to the right or left, you would see Cherno crossing home plate there.
Well, also, if he pounded it into the ground, but even if he doesn't hit it as well, he hits it further into the ground, it might bounce over the glove of Charlie Hamill, perhaps into center field as well. Just baseball for you. It depends on not just how hard you hit it, but where you hit the baseball. Here's A.J. DiFilippo with 2 outs and his teammate at Columbia, Jack Cherno, at third base. First one to him. Pitches inside for ball 1, the count 1-0. As that was pitch number 90 from Hamill. Flames' first meeting with the Rome Generals 2 weeks from yesterday. As the 1-0 is a pitch outside for ball 2, the count 2-0. That will be the last Eastern Division opponent the Flames will tango with for the first time. That game will be in Cooperstown between the Rome Generals and the Onondaga Flames. And they'll play each other a lot starting on the 27th. DiFilippo chops one foul to the right side for strike 1. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. As a matter of fact, from the 27th through the 4th of July, 4 of the 6 games in that span for the Flames will be against the Rome Generals.
Also worth noting, that game on the 27th at Doubleday Field in Cooperstown, we will not be covering that game, just for your fans back home.
DiFilippo lines one into left field for a base hit. Cherno scores easily from third, and the Flames take the lead. It's 3-2. An RBI hit for A.J. DiFilippo. That's his 8th RBI of the year, and he is alone in second place on the team in RBIs. Good 2-out hitting right there, B-Ross.
Huge RBI there. Gives the Flames the lead. Just goes to show how the approach the Flames have taken these past couple of games. If they're falling a little bit behind, so far lately they've been able to knock themselves right back into it very quickly.
And that hit knocks out Charlie Hamill from this game. We'll tell you all about the new pitcher when we come back here on Team Line. It's Flames Baseball. Welcome back to OCC Stadium. The new pitcher for the Cortland Crushers, Daniel Favicchio, out of St. Michael's College, majoring in neuroscience there. Something B. Ross and I know probably not a whole lot about. I don't even know what neuroscience is, though I should.
I'm a social sciences guy.
Me too. Pitch is high to Mike Stefan, who is pinch hitting for Casey Kretsch. Perhaps some defensive changes coming in the top of the sixth inning. We'll let you know what those changes are when they happen. The pitch was high to Stefan. This one, too. The throw down to second is past the shortstop. Ciesco into center field. DiFilippo didn't see it right away, but I don't think he was going to be able to take third base regardless. Stolen base for DiFilippo, and there's a runner in scoring position with 2 away.
Yeah, that ball went to the outfield, but it was right at Laviosa who was coming in. I don't think he was going to be able to make it at the third. If he went, he probably would have been gunned down.
Smart decision to stay at second base by DiFilippo as Stefan steps in with a 2-0 count against the righty Daniel Favicchio on the mound. Just second appearance of the year for him as the pitch is low for ball 3. And now the count is 3-0 to Stefan. Favicchio only has pitched 1 inning on the year. Didn't strike out a batter, didn't walk a batter, didn't allow a run. Very simply put, he was solid. 3-0. Well up and away to Stefan, and he's on with a 4-pitch pinch-hit walk. And now up to the plate, it is Corbin Paxton, the first baseman, with 2 away and now 2 runners on base. If DiFilippo scores this inning, the run will be charged to Charlie Hamill. If Mike Stefan scores, the run is charged to Daniel Favicchio. But those are ifs. 2 runs have already come around to score this inning for the Flames. See if they can add more here, turn it into a crooked number on the scoreboard. Paxton is grounded out twice to shortstop. As the pitch is in there for strike 1, the count is 0-1. Favicchio on the mound, graduate of St. John the Baptist Diocesan High School. All conference as a senior at St. John's. 0-1 to Paxton. Fastball finds the dirt. Valentino keeps it in front of him, holds the runners where they are. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. And Favicchio's father, Philip, also played college baseball. He played at Iona College.
Iona, top-tier D1 program there, even though it's not in a major conference.
Don't have to be in a major conference to be a good baseball program. 1-1. Pitch is outside for ball 2. The count is 2-1.
We saw that a couple seasons ago with Coastal Carolina taking home the whole thing at the College World Series.
That's right.
I think deep down everyone was rooting for the Chanticleers there.
Oh, yeah. Big time. I was rooting for the Chanticleers. 2-1 grounded towards short. Good hop for Ciesco. Throw it out to first is in time, and that will retire the side. Flames strand 2. They have stranded 6 runners in this game, but 2 runs come around to score this inning, and Onondaga has a 3-2 lead through 5 innings of play. Welcome back to OCC Stadium for the top of the 6th inning between the Crush and the Flames. Riley Glenn in his 6th inning of work on the mound tonight. He'll face 4, 5, and 6 in the Cortland order. Here in the top of the 6th inning, Zach Kelly to lead things off. First pitch fastball over the plate. It's strike one. The count is 0-1 to Kelly, as Glenn just threw his 72nd pitch of the night. Jeff DiStefano was warming up in the pen earlier, but nobody is tossing down there now as the breaking ball is over the plate for strike two. The count now no balls and 2 strikes quickly to Kelly. Kelly 0 for 1 on the night with a ground out to first and a walk. He was stranded in that third inning at first base as Glenn gets him looking on a breaking ball to the outside corner. For the third time tonight, Riley Glenn says good morning, good afternoon, and good night, sir. Kelly goes down on 3 pitches. One away here in the 6th. And now the third baseman, Alex Babcock, to the plate. Like Kelly, he's 0 for 1. First one to Babcock is a breaking ball over the plate for strike one. The count is 0-1. Glenn has found his rhythm once again. He gave up 2 runs in the third inning, but knock on wood, hasn't allowed a run since, as the 0-1 fastball just misses. Maybe a little up, maybe a little outside, but it was out of the zone regardless. Counting if it's up at a ball and a strike to the Cortland third baseman. He walked in the second, grounded out to short in the third. 1-1. Fastball up and away. It's ball 2. The count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Glenn took a little walk off the mound after that last pitch, and now he's set and ready to go again. Here's the 2-1. Fastball up and in, forced Babcock to lean back just a little bit. And now Babcock has a good hitter's count. 3 balls and 1 strike. With the same count, he drew his walk in the second inning. 3-1 pitch on the inside corner, and the count runs full now to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now there is a pitcher warming up again in the Flames bullpen. Jeff DiStefano is back up and throwing. As here's the payoff from Glenn. A swing and a miss by Babcock. Another strikeout for Riley Glenn. That is his 8th on the night. And there are 2 away here in the 6th inning. Another excellent outing from Riley Glenn on the bump tonight through 5 2/3 innings. And here's Alex Flock, the left fielder. 6 innings, allowing 1 run against the Saltcats Saturday night as the pitch is high for ball 1. The count 1-0. Glenn, usually a very relaxed guy, very outgoing. One of the 2 leaders of the shenanigans in the post-game interviews. As the pitch finds the zone for strike 1, the count if it's up at a ball and a strike. But when he steps on the mound, especially in these last 2 games, he is focused, 100% focused on pitching well night in, night out, as the breaking ball finds the dirt for ball 2. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Here it is to Flock. The 2-1 is lined up the middle and past the infield for a base hit. Flock is on for the first time tonight. And Cortland extends the inning with a base knock from Alex Flock. That is the 5th hit of the night for the Crush. Now stepping up to the plate, Tyler McKeon, the second baseman. As Glenn's pitch count is now at 84. With McKeon, the righty, at the plate. First pitch bounces off Surratt just behind him. Rounding second after taking the base is Flock, but he stops there. Now Robert Anders, the pitching coach, makes a visit to the mound. Hasn't made a signal to the bullpen to this point. I don't expect him to in the middle of an at-bat. Count is 1-0 to McKeon. And suddenly there's a runner in scoring position with 2 away for Cortland. As Anders gathers Zurat, Glenn, and the whole Flames infield. The conversation ends. Robert Anders goes back to the dugout, and we'll see what the meeting results in on the mound for Riley Glenn and in the field for the Flames. As McKeon, the second baseman, steps back into the box with a 1-0 count. With a runner on second base and 2 away. Flames ahead 3-2 after scoring 2 runs to take the lead in the last half inning. 1-0. Breaking ball is a beauty on the inside corner. It's strike 1. The count evens up at a ball and a strike to the Cortland second baseman. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Reached on a hit batsman in the 3rd inning. Came around to score. Struck out looking in the 4th on 3 pitches. 1-1 chopped off the plate past Glenn. Picked on a hop by Ruggiero. Throw to first is not in time. Had trouble getting that out of the glove, but he might not have been able to get McKeon anyway. He was hustling down the line. Infield hit for McKeon. Runners at the corners 2 away, and now the change is being made. Jeff DiStefano coming in for Riley Glenn after an excellent 5 2/3 innings from the Flames starter tonight. We'll be back here on Team Line. Welcome back to Flames Baseball here in Team Line. Top of the 6th inning, runners are at the corners with 2 away, and the new pitcher for the Onondaga Flames is Jeff DiStefano, making his 3rd appearance of the season, rather. Pitched 2 in the 3rd inning so far. Hasn't allowed a run. 3 walks, 1 strikeout. And he doesn't have a win or loss, as the pitch is high to Justin Valentino, the catcher, for ball 1. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Regardless of whether these runners score or not, very good outing tonight for Riley Glenn on the mound. 5 2/3 innings, just wasn't able to make it out of this 6th inning. Did give up 2 in the 3rd. Pickoff attempt to first is not in time. And he was cruising through the 6th inning to begin with. Struck out first 2 batters he faced, but then allowed a single to Flock. A wild pitch that advanced him to second, and then Tyler McKeon recorded an infield single. And that's where we are. Ground ball up the middle is through for base hits. Scoring is Flock. Stopping at second base is McKeon. And the game is tied at 3 on an RBI single from Justin Valentino. And for Valentino, that is his first RBI of the season. And a big one getting pretty late in this ball game. The game is now tied at 3 with 2 runners still on base and 2 away. Crush putting together a 2-out rally, similarly to how the Flames put together a 2-out rally in the 3rd inning to get a run on the board. The batter now is Jimmy Tatum, the DH, and the first pitch is a breaking ball low and away for ball 1. The count 1-0. That run is charged to Riley Glenn, so he has given up 3 runs, all earned to this point. If McKeon scores from second base, that run is charged to Glenn. If Valentino scores, that run is charged to DiStefano. Here's a 1-0 from the lefty, and the breaking ball finds the lower third for strike 1. Count evens up at a ball and a strike to Jimmy Tatum. Tatum is 0 for 2 tonight. Still trying to get going at the plate. He has struck out twice, and both times he was looking. 1-1, breaking ball stays up and away. Jake Zurad forced out of his crouch, and it's ball 2. The count 2 balls and 1 strike. And you have to think, despite the results, that it's a comfortable feeling for DiStefano on the mound to pitch to Jake Zurad. Both players out of Canisius College. Zurad didn't get a whole lot of playing time, but they are battery mates, as that was fouled off the netting by Tatum, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. In general, it's a sense of comfort for some of these players if they are not the only one from their college, at least at the beginning of the season, playing for the Flames. Multiple players from Canisius, 3 of them as a matter of fact, as Tatum swings and misses at the fastball, and that is strike 3 and out number 3 here in the top of the 6th. However, with a 2-out rally, the Cortland Crush ties the game. The RBI single from Justin Valentino ties the score at 3, and that is your score heading to the bottom of the 6th here on Team Line. Welcome back to OCC Stadium for the bottom of the 6th inning. The Crush has tied the game at 3 after a 2-out rally in the top half of the inning. We'll see if the Flames can answer and perhaps retake the lead. It's the bottom of the order for Onondaga here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Designated hitter Jared Grosguth leads things off. He is 0 for 1 on the night. He faces Daniel Favicchio. Came in to retire the final batter of the 5th inning as the breaking ball finds the zone for strike 1. The count is no balls and 1 strike. Rather, he came in for the last two batters of the fifth inning. He walked Mike Stefan, the pinch hitter, and then forced Corbin Paxton to ground out to short. Grosguth lines one into left center field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Jared Grosguth records his first hit of the night, and the leadoff man is on for Onondaga. And as Jake Surratt, the catcher, comes to the plate, just a quick mention. We were going to mention the defensive changes after Mike Stefan pinch hit in the bottom of the fifth inning. Stefan stayed in the game to play left field, and then moving in to third base from left was A.J. DiFilippo. Surratt, meanwhile, at the plate 0 for 2. Third baseman Babcock in. The pitch is high. Throw down to first. The tag is not in time. The throw was, but Kelly was set just in front of the runner Grosguth, and he had to turn around quickly, do a 180 to tag Grosguth. As a result, the tag wasn't in time, and Grosguth is still at first base. Babcock still on the grass. Surratt might square up the bunt again. He is squaring up, and the 1-0 here is bunted to the pitcher, Favicchio. He looks at second base, but he underhands it to Kelly at the first base bag for the first out of the inning, and in scoring position is Jared Grosguth with one away. Successful sacrifice for Jake Surratt. And now the batter is the shortstop, Mike Ruggiero, who has been the best hitter, arguably, for the Flames tonight. Definitely in the stat sheet he is. He's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. Both hit well. Ground ball up the middle. Line drive in a right. Chance of driving a run here, and the breaking ball is high for ball one. The count is 1-0 to Ruggiero. Ruggiero has already driven in a pair of runs this season. Looking to add to that total this time up. Favicchio alternating his eyesight between second base and home. Time was called eventually by the home plate umpire. So the righty-righty matchup halted for just a moment. As Favicchio continues to look in for the sign, he has it. Here's the 1-0 to Ruggiero, and the pitch is in the dirt. Valentino keeps it in front of him. It's ball 2, the count 2 balls, and no strikes to Ruggiero. Perhaps he'll get a pitch to hit right here, as Favicchio is down 2 in the at-bat. 2-0. Up and in. Ruggiero had to duck and cover, and the count's now 3 balls and no strikes. Curious to see if Mike Cordero gives Ruggiero the green light perhaps here. I would expect that would not be the case, given that Favicchio has missed with 3 consecutive pitches, and he's missed high. 3-0. Give me your fastball is low. Ruggiero's on with a 4-pitch walk, and Jack Cherno has a chance to drive in another run or two at the plate. As time is called, Zach Kelly to the rubber to talk to Daniel Favicchio. Situations: runners on first and second, and 1 away. Grosguth on second, got on base with a base hit, and Ruggiero just a moment ago, the 4-pitch walk at first base. Ruggiero hasn't been retired all night. And here is Jack Cherno, who's 1 for 3. Last time up, laced an RBI single to tie the game at 2. First pitch fastball over the plate for strike 1. The count is 0-1. Big pitch for Favicchio, because if he misses that, 5th ball in a row, and it starts to get in your head as a pitcher. Cherno, the lefty, against Favicchio, the righty. Checking on the runner at second. The 0-1 is in the dirt. Valentino keeps it in front of him once again, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. For Cherno, the RBI was his 5th of the season already since arriving with the team on Friday. First action came against the Cortland Crush on Friday night. 1-1. Pitch is up and away. Not an intentional pitch out, but that's certainly what it looked like. Pitch that just got away from Favicchio that time. Count as 2 balls and 1 strike to Cherno. Favicchio looks at the runner on second, and now the 2-1. Fastball a little lower, but still outside. And now another good hitter scout here to a Flames hitter at the plate. 3 balls and 1 strike. Cherno drove in 2 runs last night, went 3 for 5 at the plate. All 3 hits were singles. A single could give the Flames the lead right here. 3-1. Swing and a miss. A foul tip into the mid is strike 2, and the count runs full out of 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gunning for a gapper right there, a double that could have driven in 2. But it was an unhittable fastball on the outside corner. Here's the payoff, and the fastball is low for ball 4. Back-to-back walks by Daniel Favicchio results in the bases being loaded. With just 1 away in the inning, and the batter is the second baseman, Brian Hart. Time is called. The catcher, Justin Valentino, to the mound. Also, the shortstop, Anthony Ciesco, to talk to Favicchio, who was walking off the mound a little bit. He looks a little frustrated. Any pitcher would be frustrated after allowing consecutive walks to load the bases. Flames have left 6 runners on base in the game this so far, and that's been the bugaboo in some of their losses. The big inning allowed, and also stranded runners on base. Frequently, they have stranded the bases loaded. Hopefully not here if you're a Flames fan. First pitch to Brian Hart is low and inside for ball 1. The count is 1 ball and no strikes to begin the at-bat. Playing at the foot of the grass is the third baseman, Alex Babcock. Perhaps looking for a suicide squeeze attempt. 1-0 is inside again on Hart. Ball 2, the count 2 balls and no strikes. And even if Mike Correa calls for the suicide squeeze to try and give the Flames the lead, Daniel Favicchio isn't finding the zone right now. Probably why the squeeze hasn't been called. 2-0, fastball finds the upper third of the zone. Favicchio back in the strike zone, back in the at-bat. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hart 1 for 2 on the night. Drove in a run to get the Flames on the board in the 3rd inning with an RBI single. Corner infielders in. The 2-1 is in the dirt for ball 3, and the count now 3 balls and 1 strike. Normally, with a runner on third base and less than 2 outs, the whole infield would be in, but with a runner on first base, the middle infielders, Ciesco and McKeon, are in double play depth. 3-1 to Hart is inside for ball 4. Second RBI of the night for Brian Hart is a bases-loaded walk. The Flames take the lead. It's 4-3. And the pitching coach for the Crush will make a visit to the mound. So the infield and Justin Valentino to talk to the pitcher Favicchio, who's walking off the mound again. And from the looks of it, there will be a pitching change. We'll tell you all about the new pitcher for the Cortland Crush when we come back. Flames lead at 4-3, and the bases are loaded with 1 away. Bases loaded, one away here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Flames ahead 4-3. Colin Matthews steps up to the plate after the bases loaded walk for Brian Hart. New pitcher for the Cortland Crush is Max Tannenbaum. Tannenbaum out of Babson College, graduate of North Broward Prep High School, native of Coral Springs, Florida. Pitched in 20 games with Babson this season. Righty-righty matchup here between Tannenbaum and Matthews. First one of Matthews is well inside for ball one. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Tannenbaum of the year. This will be his 6th appearance. 6 in the 3rd innings. He struck out 9. He's allowed 5 runs, 3 earned. 1-0 to Matthews is chopped towards third. It is a foul ball. It got by Babcock, but it bounced foul over the third base bag. Strike one. The count evens up a ball and a strike. And getting back to Daniel Favicchio for the moment, just couldn't find the strike zone at the end of his outing. He walked a batter at the end of the 5th inning. That was the first batter he faced, Mike Stefan. Got the ground out to short to end the 5th, but in the 6th inning, a single, allowed a sac bunt to get Grosskreutz to second base, and then 3 consecutive walks resulted in a run. All 3 runners on base, if they scored, charged to Favicchio. 1-1 to Matthews. Fastball on the inside corner. It's strike 2. The count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Still 1 out in the inning, so the corner infielder is only playing in with a runner on first base. 1-2. Swinging a ground ball towards second. Diving stop is made by McKeon. The throw to first is in time, but the double play is avoided. The run scores, and the Flames extend the lead to 5-3. RBI ground out for Colin Matthews. For Matthews, his 5th RBI of the season to make it 5-3. Runners are at second and third now with 2 away for A.J. DiFilippo. DiFilippo 1 for 2 tonight with an RBI single in the 5th inning. Pitch is outside for ball 1. The count is 1-0. DiFilippo, with that single, gave the Flames a 3-2 lead at the time. And now after the Crush tied the game in the top half of the inning at 3. Flames have 2 more here in the 6th as DiFilippo takes a big cut and a miss. At a breaking pitch, it's strike 1. Count evens up at a ball and a strike to the now 3rd baseman for the Flames tonight. Last half inning, he moved into the infield from left. 1-1. Pitch is up and away for ball 2, and the count now 2 balls and 1 strike for DiFilippo. He's pretty close to home plate with his stance. That resulted in him being hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning primarily. Pitch was right at hit him in the back. 2-1. It's outside for ball 3. The count 3 balls and 1 strike. And Brandon and I talked about some of the advantages of crowding the plate. Look at Anthony Rizzo. He is very close to home plate when he bats, and he's a great hitter with the Cubs. 3-1. Chopper towards second. McKeon gets a good hop. The throw to first is in time and on target for the final out of the inning. However, the Flames respond to Cortland tying the game with 2 more runs. And the Flames have a 5-3 lead heading to the 7th here on Team Line.
Top of the 7th here at OCC Stadium after a burst-out inning for the Onondaga Flames, now leading 5-3. As the top of the order coming up for the Crush, Anthony Ciesco leading off. DiStefano still on the mound after coming in relief last inning. The first pitch to Ciesco, fastball misses outside for ball 1. Ciesco 1 for 3 on the night. Last time up, he flew out. He also got a single back in the 3rd inning, eventually coming around to score. And another fastball missing outside. Count's going to be 2-0 now. DiStefano, a rare returner here for the Onondaga Flames. His 2nd summer after playing for the team last year coming out of high school, is a broken bat liner out to 2nd. That'll be fielded easily by Brian Hart, and that'll be out number 1.
Well, the bat didn't quite die here. It was a good line drive from Ciesco, but if that bat doesn't break, it drops into right center field easily for a base hit. That's a good pitch from DiStefano, getting Ciesco to break the bat. And usually when you see a broken bat, it's a pitch on the inside part of the plate, just jams him. That one literally hit it off the end of the bat, split the bat in 2.
Had the part left over in his hands, and then the rest of the bat split over. One going towards DiStefano on the mound, another going a little bit down the 3rd base line. So now 1 away for Dylan Ketch. Ketch 1 for 2 on the night. Walked his last time up, also doubled back in the 3rd inning, got stranded at 3rd. He shows bunt, lays it down the 3rd base line. Firing over to 1st is not in time. There was a confusion on who was going to field that one near the pitcher's mound. DiStefano ran for it, but DiFilippo called him off and fired to 1st, but it was a little too late by that point, and now the Crush have a man on with 1 away.
There was nothing the Flames could do on that play because they were surprised by Ketch, and that's exactly why he laid down the bunt. The infielder wasn't ready for it.
And DiStefano already done here after 2/3 of an inning of work. We'll tell you who's on the mound here when we come back on Team Line. New pitcher on the mound for the Flames, Chris Burnett. This will be his 3rd appearance of the season. Came in late because he was at Cal Poly Panama out in California. And the California public schools get out a little later than most do. He came here along with Jeremy Taylor on a red-eye just in time to play in a game later that night. Each of them threw an inning so far. Burnett, stellar pitching performance through his first 2 outings. Only 2 innings under his belt. He's recorded 6 outs, no hits, no walks, 5 of those 6 outs coming through the strikeout. And now Dylan Ketch leading off of first base is Laviosa up to bat now. Laviosa 1 for 3 on the night. A strikeout, a single, and hitting into a double play. The first pitch is going to catch the inside corner. Looked like it was around the knees, but looked like it just caught the edge of the plate for strike 1.
Burnett pitched 2 nights ago, and He came in with a jam, 2 runners on, nobody out in the 7th inning, struck out the side after the Flames scored 4 in the top half of the inning.
Pickoff attempt, nothing doing over at first base. Catch able to get back there with ease. But Catch, like a lot of runners on both of these sides, taking a very aggressive lead here. The 0-1 is going to be a line down the right field line. Giving chase to it is Matthews, and it's going to be foul ball. That one went over the fence, but it was just cut foul about 20 feet right of the foul line.
Well, it bounced over the fence. It was heading for the warning track if it was in fair territory, but that was a few feet foul. That was a good, probably at least 10 feet to the right of the first base line.
So now an 0-2 count here on Laviosa after the long foul ball. Another pickoff attempt for Catch, but he is able to get back there safely. Catch jumping right back out into a gutsy lead. The payoff to Laviosa. Breaking ball misses, going to get corralled by Zarate. He looks to second, but a throw attempt over to second doesn't happen. An awkward slide for Dylan Catch. He's able to get in there without a throw. Now with one away, the Crush have a runner on second.
In this situation, if you're Chris Burnett, if you can't get the strikeout, trade it out for third base at this point, because if you get that second out and the runner's at third base, you don't really have to focus on the runner, just focus on the batter at the plate, get the out, keep Cortland off the scoreboard this inning.
The 1-2. Cut on and missed. Breaking ball gets Laviosa out in front, and there are now 2 away here in the top of the 7th.
I said if he didn't get the strikeout, but remember, we're talking about Chris Burnett here. That's his 6th strikeout among the 7 outs now that he has recorded in his now 3 outings on the year. Now he has a chance to get the Flames out of this jam once again.
And now Zach Kelly coming up to bat, 0 for 2 on the night. Certainly not like Zach Kelly, hitting .290 entering tonight with a homer and a handful of RBIs as well. The first pitch is going to be chopped on the ground towards first. Going to get field, fires to first, and a collision over at first base. Looks like it's going to be an error on behalf of the pitcher, Chris Burnett, who couldn't corral that ball over at first. And it's now a 5-4 ball game.
So the run scores on an error, which means despite the fact that Catch reached base on a single, the run is unearned because the error would have been the 3rd out of the inning. And it was a tough play for Burnett to make at the base, too, because he's got Zach Kelly, a big guy, running down the first base line. As a matter of fact, they made contact. Kelly pretty much did a front flip.
Kelly healthy over there at first base as that brings up Alex Babcock. Babcock also 0 for 2 as that pitch catches the zone for strike 1.
And that run is charged to DiStefano, but like I said, not an earned run.
Throw over to first, not in time. Babcock, one of the many strikeout victims tonight, and facing a known strikeout pitcher. Interesting to see what could come of this at-bat. The 0-1 cut on and missed. Babcock now behind the count 0-2. So Babcock with his back against the wall here, 2 away in the top of the 7th, 5-4. The Flames lead over the Cortland Crush. And Burnett deals the 0-2. Fastball way outside. Zarate able to keep that one in front of him. And the count's not going to be a ball and 2 strikes.
Burnett and the Flames should be out of this inning, but he has to have a short-term memory on the mound. He's got to pitch to the batter, get that 3rd out, get out of the inning with the Flames still ahead.
Kelly with a shortened lead off of first base. Burnett the 1-2. Chopped on the ground down the 3rd base line, but foul over in the direction of the Flames dugout. And the count's going to stay at 1-2. Alex Flock waiting on deck should Babcock not be the final batter of the inning. Babcock not crowding the plate too much, standing about in the middle of the batter's box. The 1-2. Check swing. Did not go, according to the home plate umpire. And confers with the second base umpire, who also confirms he did not go. Count's going to be evened up at 2-2. Burnett checks over at first again. A close play over there, but again, Kelly able to get back safely.
It's a great play by Burnett. Great pickoff move. Whipped it over to Corbin Paxton at first base. The tag was there, but Kelly was just barely able to get back to the first base bag.
Got back in by a hair. And now Burnett working from the stretch. Gets ready, the 2-2. Breaking ball, called strike 3. So make that 8 outs. 8 outs recorded by this man. And 7 strikeouts. Unbelievable. So 1 run on no hits. And 1 man left on base at the end of 6.5 innings of play. The Flames enter the bottom half with a 5-4 lead. Here in the bottom half of the 7th inning, after the Crush put up a run in the top half, it's now a 5-4 ball game. And Mike Stefan to lead it off for the Flames. Stefan, 1 plate appearance so far, ended up walking. So he has not been charged with an at-bat tonight, as the first pitch is a fastball right down the heart of the plate. And the count's going to be 0-1. Stefan's been in and out of the lineup lately, mixing some new first baseman in, playing some left field, as that pitch is swung on and missed. And now Stefan behind in the count 0-2. Corbin Paxton has the start tonight at first base. Stefan came in replacement for Casey Crutch back in the 5th. Crutch was playing third base. Stefan replaced in left field. That pitch misses outside for ball 1. So Stefan would come in on left field, and DiFilippo, who was placed out there in left field, came in and moved over to third. So 1-2 the count, Tannenbaum deals. Just misses outside. Count's going to be evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stefan with a wide open stance, but crowding the plate just a little bit. The 2-2. Line down the third base line, well foul towards the Flames bullpen. Looks like nobody's warming up in there, and the count's going to stay at 2-2.
Stefan doing a good job of fighting in this at-bat. Went down 0-2 on the first 2 pitches, staying alive up there.
Tannenbaum delivers the 2-2. Looks like a breaking ball that got out of his hands. No break on that one. Was almost at the complete opposite end of the opposing batter's box. So instead, the count's now full at 3-2. Stefan back in the box. Tannenbaum delivers the payoff. It's going to be chopped high near home plate, but foul. Valentino's going to pick that one up in foul territory, and the count's going to stay at 3-2.
If anything, that was pounded off of home plate. Stayed in the air for a good 3 seconds. Looked like a pop-up for a second, but just a ground ball. Foul.
And now with the foul ball, Stefan getting ready for what's going to be the 8th pitch of this at-bat.
And that's what you want out of a leadoff hitter in any inning. Make the pitcher work for that first out of the inning. Show him that you're not going down without a fight.
Stefan back in the box. Base is empty, but Tannenbaum working from the stretch. The 3-2 is going to be grounded over to third. Picked up by Babcock, fires over to first, and just gets him in time. And so 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th. So a long first at bat went 8 pitches, but there's now 1 away, and that brings up Corbin Paxton. Paxton 0 for 3 on the night. Every single at bat, a ground out to short.
And sometimes after a long at bat to begin the inning, the pitcher gets a little tired after having to throw that many pitches to the first batter, and it has a good effect on the rest of the hitters in the inning.
First pitch is going to be foul back behind home plate.
I don't know how I remember this, but in my final year of Little League, I worked an 8-pitch at bat. I struck out looking at a pitch that was, I thought, a little outside, but later in the inning, as a matter of fact, starting with the next batter, my team rallied to score a couple runs.
The fact that you have that memory does not surprise me one bit. The 0-1 is going to be lined foul down the third baseline, and now behind the count 0-2 is going to be Corbin Paxton. Now, Eric, just to prove to the fans how much you remember about Little League, what was your batting average?
.268, 11 of 41 at the plate. That was only in the final season, though.
You can't make this stuff up, folks.
I don't know anything from the rest of my seasons, though.
You can't make this stuff up. Paxton ready, the 0-2. Lined into left field, short for a base hit. Paxton gets on with a 1-out single. And now there's a base runner on for the Flames, and that'll bring up Jared Grosguth.
Well, he was certainly happy just to not ground out to shortstop this time. Would have been 4 at-bats in a row. And a good piece of hitting, too. 0-1, 0-2 pitch. He gets a hittable pitch right over the plate. Probably a little too hittable with an 0-2 count, and he goes the other way with a fastball in the outer part.
Only the 3rd hit of the year for Corbin Paxton on that one. Another one happened last night. Drove a gapper. Brought in a couple runs. The first pitch here to Grosguth is going to catch the zone for strikes 1. Grosguth 1 for 2 tonight. Walked his first time out, struck out in the 4th. Got a single last inning coming around to score. The 0-1. Breaking ball just catches the plate. Count's going to be 0-2 now. Grosguth behind in the count here.
From the bottom of the 5th on, this game has slowed down tremendously as we have seen both teams start to pile up the runs. Flames have scored 4 since the bottom of the 5th inning. Crush added 2 of their own.
The 0-2. Cut on and missed. A big hack from Grosguth. Ends up on top of that breaking ball, and it's going to be 2 away here.
And that's a better 0-2 pitch from Tannenbaum that time. Gave Paxton the fastball in the outer part of the plate. You knew on 0-2 against Grosguth he wasn't going to give a fastball over the plate.
I'll bring up Jake Zarat, as Eric was mentioning, getting late here in this one, as the skies finally officially decide to turn to nighttime. All the light that was there is no longer, as that one's lined into right field. Down the line, that'll be a base hit. Cutting down that one off in right field is Catch. Advancing to second is going to be Zarat. It'll be a double for Zarat, and now runners are on second and third with 2 away.
Mike Cordero was signaling for Corbin Paxton to score initially as he was rounding second base, but Cordero did a good job as the third base coach to run down the third base line towards home plate, making sure it was the right decision to send Paxton, and he decided to hold him up at the end, which was the smart call because Dylan Ketch was able to corral it after fumbling the ball a little bit in that right field corner.
Ketch able to range that one down. It was certainly not a short run for him out there in right field, as that one was right down the line, and he wasn't playing too tight there. With two away, it's Mike Ruggiero who fouls the first pitch off towards the Crush dugout for strike one.
And that's a good piece of hitting by Zurot on the first pitch to get that double down the right field line. Again, a fastball in the outer part of the plate, two hittable, and Zurot laces it down that right field line for his first extra base hit of the season.
Tannenbaum with 2 runners in scoring position, the 0-1. Chopped on the ground towards second, but getting over there is going to be Zach Kelly. He'll fire over to first where Tannenbaum is covering, and that will be out number 3. So 2 runners left in scoring position for the Flames, a trouble that has plagued them all season long, and now heading into the top of the 8th inning. The Flames still lead 5-4. New pitcher here for the Onondaga Flames as we head into the top of inning number 8. Jimmy Flahive, side armor lefty, heading on to take the mound. Flames still leading 5-4. Left 2 runners in scoring position in the bottom half of last inning. Flahive, a lefty out of American International College, has been a mainstay reliever so far. Actually was a pitcher late in the game last night. I wanted to talk to him after the game and get an interview. If you've been paying attention to our social media, you know there's been a good bit of tomfoolery going on in the background of those interviews. And so I wanted to talk to Jimmy, and then the rest of the pitching staff basically gave me a veto saying, "No, Brandon, we're not ready yet." So apparently they got something waiting in store there for Jimmy Flahive, as heading into lead off the inning for the Crush is going to be Alex Fluck. Last time out to bat in the 6th inning, Fluck singled, eventually coming around to score. Otherwise on the night, Fluck 1 for 2. He 1 for 3, actually into a double play back in the 2nd inning, and then flew out to center back in the 4th. Before there's even the first pitch, a mound conference with Jake Zurot. Zurot will go back behind home plate. Interesting defensive positioning here. Third base. Over there is A.J. DiFilippo. He's playing well inside of the bag. His feet touching the infield grass here, as the first pitch is going to miss outside. That'll be ball 1-0. Flahive one of 4 side armors in this Flames pitching rotation, as that pitch is going to be a breaking ball missing down and away, and the count's going to be 2-0. Flahive deals the 2-0. It's going to be driven into right center field, giving chase is the center fielder Cherno, and he'll make the catch. Looks like he had a tough time with the lighting out there. It was about the point where the lights stopped working. You experience some nighttime. High probability of losing the ball in that setting, but instead Cherno makes the catch for out number 1. And now Tyler McKeon coming up to bat with one away. McKeon 1 for 2 on the night. Has reached twice on a single and a hit by pitch. The first pitch is cut on and foul tipped into the mid of Jake Surratt. And the count's going to be 0-1. Flahive, no one on but working from the stretch. The 0-1. It's going to miss outside. Looked like a breaking ball that just got away from him. The count's going to be even at 1-1. McKeon, as he has been all night, crowding the plate like a madman, the 1-1. Catches the outside corner. Looked like the off-speed just caught the outside edge of the strike zone, and the count's going to be 1-2. Interesting approach by McKeon, crowding the plate. You would think that on a pitch that's even a little bit outside, he'd still give way, given he's so close. And the 1-2 is going to miss just high. Count's going to be even at 2-2. And McKeon stepping back in. Flahive deals the 2-2. Going to be lined foul down the right field line. Going to hit the netting above the crushed dugout. Got to stay at 2-2. Quality at bat here from Tyler McKeon. Really working Jimmy Flahive in his first inning on the mound. Running up his pitch count early. The 2-2 is going to catch the plate for strike 3. McKeon gets caught looking, and now there's 2 away. As now strolling in, it's going to be Justin Valentino. So far, an easy 2 outs for Jimmy Flahive, but Valentino has not been an easy out tonight. 2 for 3, courtesy of 2 singles, one in the 6th, and one back in the 4th. And the first pitch is cut on and missed. Breaking ball out of the zone. Valentino gives chase, but he can't quite get a grasp of it. The 0-1 is going to be lined foul down the left field line. No one giving chase, well out of play. Now Valentino behind the count, 0-2. First 2 pitches of that bat, DiFilippo over at third, playing in. But now with 2 strikes, moving back into regular defensive positioning. A shift here in the infield. And the 0-2, cut on and missed. Easy 1-2-3 for Jimmy Flahive. 2 strikeouts in that inning. And heading into the bottom of inning number 8, the Flames still have a 5-4 lead. Bottom of the 8th inning here at OCC Stadium. Flames still with the 5-4 lead. Jack Cherno, top of the order, coming up for the Flames. And a couple defensive changes to make note of. Alex Babcock is done for the night for the Crush. The first pitch to Cherno is fouled down the left field line. Alex Babcock is done. Replacing him in the batting order is going to be Julio Criazola. And Criazola defensively will go in at second base. And shifting over from second to third is going to be Tyler McKeon. Tannenbaum still out there on the mound. And that pitch is going to miss outside, count 1-1. But there is some action in the bullpen. There's Jonathan Treisler warming up for the Crush. This will be the second game Treisler will face the Onondaga Flames, should he come in. The 1-1 to Cherno. That pitch catches the outside corner. Cherno now behind the count 1-2. Cherno so far 1 for 3 on the night. Last time up, he walked and got left hanging at third. His one hit came on a single. He does have an RBI on the night and did come around to score on his own. The 1-2 is going to be grounded right over to first. Kelly will take it to the bag himself, and a quick, easy out here for the Crush. Quick take around the league to see what around the NYCBL scoreboard is. Rome ended up defeating Sherrill by the same score we updated you last with of 11-1. Syracuse Spartans and Saltcats still tied in the 10th inning. Going into extras there. Final score in Olean was Olean Oilers 6, Rochester Ridgemen 2. As that first pitch to Brian Hart's going to be driven into shallow center field. Coming onto that one is going to be Laviosa, and he'll make the play for out number 2. Quick 2 outs here for the Crush. Colin Matthews now up for his 5th plate appearance of the night. So far, no luck for him at the plate. 0 for 3, only reaching base once, courtesy of a walk in inning number 3. Matthews in a tall stance. First pitch, going to be grounded over to short. Fields fires to first, and that'll be an easy 3 outs for the Cortland Crush. Heading to the top of inning number 9, Flames with the chance to send Cortland packing. No runs, no hits, no one left on base. 5-4, the Onondaga Flames lead after 8.
Back for the top of the 9th here at OCC Stadium. The Flames trying to close it out against the Cortland Crush. Onondaga is up 5-4. The pinch hitter for the Cortland Crush to lead off this inning is Hayden Houts. Pinch hitting for Jimmy Tatum, the designated hitter. Tatum struck out 3 times in 3 at-bats. There are a couple changes to note for the Flames defensively. In left field for Mike Stefan is Mike Netzel. And on the mound for the Flames trying to close it out is Keon Taylor. Taylor has already recorded 1 save on the year. He looks for his 2nd right here, right now. And he starts against Hayden Houts in his first plate appearance of the night. First pitch is just low for ball one. The count is 1-0. Keon last pitch 2 nights ago against the Saltcats. Picked up a 6-out save. As that pitch is low for ball two. Counting on 2 balls and no strikes to Houts. Houts listed as a catcher slash third baseman on the Crush roster. Left-hand batter, right-hand thrower out of Northern State University. 2-0 fastball, it's up and away for ball three. Counting out 3 balls and no strikes. Keon is the 5th pitcher of the night for the Flames. He relieves Jimmy Flahive, who was spectacular in the 8th inning. Retire the Crush in order, 1-2-3. The last 2 batters he struck out. The 3-0 fastball is over the plate for strike 1. The count now 3 balls and 1 strike. Here's the 3-1, and the fastball is fouled back to the netting. It is strike 2. The count now full down 3 balls and 2 strikes. Just a quick update on that Syracuse v. Syracuse game. The Saltcats and the Spartans are playing at Blink Field, and because the field has no lights, and they were getting set for the 10th inning, this is what we presume. It is not official on the website, that because of the lights and given the time, it's 9:42 p.m., that the game is suspended as Houts flies one out towards left field, and Netzel comes on to make the running catch for the first out of the 9th inning. Good effort by Netzel and Mike Ruggiero. Netzel the one to make the catch, and that's the first out here in the top of the 9th inning. Eric Moon, Brandon Ross with you here from OCC Stadium. Cortland Crush, top of the order now, 5th time through the order as Anthony Ciesco, the shortstop, steps up to the plate. Flames are 2 outs away from winning 3 games in a row as the fastball's inside to Ciesco for ball 1. The count 1-0. We have confirmation now from the Spartans Twitter account that the game between the Saltcats and the Spartans has been suspended after 9 innings of play. 1-0 to Ciesco, finds the lower third of the zone. It's strike 1. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. And speaking of scheduling, these 2 teams will play again tomorrow night at 6 p.m. from Beaudry Park in Cortland. Flames and Crush. As the pitch to Ciesco fouled back to the netting. For strike 2, the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. We will have that game for you, but we will not have a video stream. As the road team, the video stream here on Team Line costs $8 to view. That is pay-per-view, $8 per game, not $8 in total. But the audio stream is free, and you can listen to us for free tomorrow night. Pitches inside on Ciesco to even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. There will be no video once again for the game tomorrow night between the Flames and the Crush. Off day for Onondaga on Saturday as the 2-2 is popped up right side of the infield, out towards shallow right rather. Hart will make the catch, calling off the right fielder Matthews and the first baseman Paxton. And the Flames are 1 out away from crawling back to 500 and putting together a 3-game winning streak, Brandon.
Certainly a stellar comeback this season right now for the Onondaga Flames. They've struggled early out the gate, falling to 3-6. Now a chance to get back to 500 with the last out here.
And representing the final hope for the Crush is Dylan Ketch at the plate. He's 2 for 3 on the night. First one to him from Taylor is a pitch low and in the dirt for ball 1. The count 1-0. Meanwhile, the Crush on Saturday, they will have the opposite of an off day. They'll be playing a doubleheader against the Syracuse Saltcats. That begins at 11 a.m. at Beaudry Park. 1-0 to Ketch. Fastball finds the lower third. It's strike 1. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. The first game between the Saltcats and the Crush was originally scheduled to be played last night, but the game was rained out. 1-1. Swing and a miss by Ketch, trying to hold up on it, but he went around completely, and the Crush is a strike away from dropping this one to the Flames. Flames trying to take over third place in the Eastern Division all by themselves. Here comes the 1-2 from Taylor, and it's a swing and a foul to the backstop just to the left of the Cortland dugout. Crush won't go away quietly. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Keon Taylor has retired the first 2 batters he's faced in the inning to get the Flames within 1 strike of victory again. 1-2. Low and outside. On the fastball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. No way Cortland goes down quietly here, Brandon.
No way. They're going to fight, and that's what they've been doing all season so far against this team. This will be the first win in 3 games against the Crush for the Flames.
2-2 from Taylor is swung on a mist. Strike 3, foul tipped into the mitt by Ketch, and that will retire the side in the 9th inning, and the Flames win it 5-4. 3 wins in a row for Onondaga. 5-4 over the Crush. First time they've beaten the Crush this season in 3 tries, and now they look for the sweep of these next 2 games tomorrow night in Cortland.
Yes, they're going to have a great chance to even up the series on the season with the Crush 2-2 tomorrow night. And what a 3-game stretch this has been for the Flames. They entered their game a couple nights ago 3-6 on the season. They had a rough start to the year, but now a 3-game winning streak, and now they're back to 500. We didn't expect this happening a few days ago, Eric.
And don't forget, the first inning against the Syracuse Saltcats 2 nights ago, they gave up 5 runs in the first inning, and I know I definitely thought to myself, uh-oh, here we go again, because it was the second time in 3 games they allowed 5 runs in the first inning, but they have caught fire now, no pun intended, and now they have 3 wins in a row. They're suddenly a half game behind the Syracuse Spartans for second place.
You know, you could tell this team meshed well when they first came here. The camaraderie was very evident, but I think they've started to get that chemistry up a little bit better. They know they have each other's backs. They know each other very well and intimately as a team. They have each other's backs, and it's really making a difference here. They're playing each other back. That game against the Saltcats, Golub gave 5 runs in the inning. Golub told me when I interviewed him after the game on Saturday that or was it Saturday? No,
Tuesday.
I'm sorry, Tuesday. Wow, I am so off with my dates. But anyway, on Tuesday, I talked to him after the game, and he said, quote, I'm going to pitch the next few innings, and I know my teammates have my back. And they did. They got the runs, and that's what mattered in the end.
Now, here's a question for you. First of all, we will have post-game interviews on social media about an hour or so following the game here at OCC Stadium. My question to you is, how much of a motivation is it for them to do shenanigans after the game, to win ball games so they can do some shenanigans in the post-game interviews?
Well, I mentioned this when Flayhouse was taking the mound. I want to know if those shenanigans are ready for him. I called dibs.
You called dibs on him. You already called dibs on Riley Glenn tonight, who had a spectacular night on the mound. 5 2/3 innings, allowing 3 runs. Unfortunately, he did not get the win. The win goes to Jeff DiStefano, his first decision of the year. The loss belongs to Daniel Favicchio, as the Flames win this game 5-4, their first 1-run victory in their stretch of 3 consecutive wins. For Brandon Ross, I'm Eric Moon saying good night and so on for now. Tune back in to Team Line tomorrow night at 6 p.m. for the audio stream of the Flames and the Crush from Beaudry Park. Good night, everybody.